What's up, guys? Lvladen here, and today I'm coming at you with my first TBC guide for Red Paladins. This is going to be the intro talents to, what I think is going to be best for PvP in the first patch of TBC. Now, a lot of things are up for debate, but I'll give you my reasoning as to why I pick the talents that I do. So the first we're going to take right here is 5 in Benediction. The biggest reason for that is you want to minimize as much mana as you're spending in PvP, because when you go you go It's very, very hard to recover unless you get a drink. You don't have any, or at least you don't have too much passive regen, especially with early gear levels when you're going to have a low intellect and stuff like that in TBC PvP. So any mana reduction is as good as you can get. The next talents that we're going to pick up right here are improved judgment and 5 points in deflection right here. That's going to lead us down into the best row, in my opinion, where we get Seal of Command, Pursuit of Justice, 3 in Pursuit of Justice, because this gives us 15% extra movement speed. Seal of Command is our primary damage seal, and we get Conviction, which we have to get in order to get Vengeance down here. Now, the next talents are all kind of, this is not the best row. Typically, I won't pick up anything here, and I'll skip it and go straight to Sanctity and 3 in two-handed weapon specialization. The reason we don't pick up Improved Sanctity Aura is because we really need the talent points for more important talents down the line. We're going to get 5 in Vengeance, and my personal preference is 3 in Sanctified Judgment, again, because we're trying to conserve as much mana as we can in PvP. After these two talents, where Vengeance is our giant physical damage and holy damage bonus after a crit, we can stack this to 3 times in the last 30 seconds. It's awesome. Kind of always want to have this up as much as possible. We go down into Repentance, mandatory talent right here. It is our ranged CC, and you can actually deal extra damage with your Seal of Command into Repentance as well. Just something we'll go over in a future video on how to deal damage. The next talents are sort of up to you. There is one more mandatory in this row, and it is 2 in Sanctified Seals. Now, the reason we don't get 3 is because we want our seals to still be purgeable. Otherwise, we'll have even less buffs to cover our wings, our Avenging Wrath, when we pop wings. So, for example, in TBC, wings is a spell stealable, purgeable spell. And the second you lose this, you're on forbearance, you're not doing any more damage, you're killable, it sucks. So we want to cover that with as many buffs as possible, such as Blessing of Kings, which actually we don't have yet. So something like Wisdom, Might, etc., and Righteous Fury. These are all purgeable buffs to protect our wings. So yes, we do want our seals to still be purgeable to some degree. Now after this, we don't actually pick any Fanaticism up. It is more of a PvE skill, I guess, because, you're looking to reduce your threat. But it actually doesn't do too much for you damage-wise. Like, your damage does not come from your judgments. Yes, judgment does okay damage, but a lot of your damage is going to come from your seal twists and your seal command procs, plus Crusader strikes. We're going to leave this alone right here and go back up the tree. So now, here is where it gets a little bit more opinionated on where to put the remaining ret PvP talent points. Where I like to put them, typically, is I go Seal of Crusader, because we're going to get a little bit of extra crit, but you could go 3 in Crusade for permanently 3% more damage. However, how much is 3% damage? Really, it's not that much. Critting is where your damage comes from. So I'm going to go ahead and grab 3 in Improved Crusader Aura. Now, there's 1 extra point here, and I usually will put it into Vindication. Now, you can go Divine Purpose and take a little bit less damage, but typically if you're getting crit, you're getting crit. You're gonna die. So I like to go for the reduced attributes. So you can technically cause people to do reduced healing when they have less attributes. So it's as close to a Mortal Strike as Red Paladin will ever get. So we pick up 1 in Vindication. This is where I say it's up to you guys where you want to put it, but you can put it in Vindication, Eye for an Eye, or Divine Purpose. Those are the 3 locations that I would choose to put them in. The rest is really up to you. Now, of course, we get Crusader Strike. And then from Crusader Strike, we go into the Prot tree. Now, it's between improved Devo Aura and Redoubt right here. We don't really go into Devo Aura too much. So think about it this way. When you're dueling a rogue or something like that, and you're waiting for them to open, you're likely going to be sitting in Sword and Board. You're going to take Redoubt right here. You're not going to be sitting in Devo Aura too much because you get 10% extra damage with Sanctity Aura, and it's a whole GCD to swap auras around. So really the only time you're swapping auras is for Shadow Resist or Frost Resist Aura, something like that. But mostly you're in Sanctity Aura, even against duels with rogues. But you will be using a one-hander and shield. The next point's right here, pretty important. You get precision. Pretty much don't need, I think you pick up 2%. You need like 2% more hit after this for PvP. I'm pretty sure it's 5% hit cap for PvP. And that gets you 3% of the way. Then we pick up Guardian's Favor, which is reduced cooldown on Blessing of Protection and Freedom, which is awesome. Pretty much mandatory in PvP for all specs of Paladin. After this, it's a little unfortunate. So, improved Righteous Fury on the outside, it looks great. You take 6% reduced damage when you have your Righteous Fury up. But look at the cost of Righteous Fury. It costs 708 mana. That is quite a lot of mana for a spell that can just be purged instantly. So realistically, what you're doing in PvP is you're taking advantage of Righteous Fury against non-purge comps, and against purge comps, if it gets purged, don't bother reapplying it because it is so much mana. After that, you're going to take Kings. Kings is what you're primarily going to use in PvP. Extra stam means you can survive a little bit better. And then we need one more talent point spent in order to reach the tree down here. So I like to just throw in extra armor, just a teeny bit of extra armor. These talents aren't going to do too much for you, especially if you go improved Diva Aura, not going to do too much. So might as well throw in toughness. Now the last 5 talents are some of the most important. The 2 most important in the Prot tree, in my opinion, are improved Hammer of Justice, so reducing your stuns cooldown by 15 seconds, and Stoicism. Is that how you say it? I could be saying it wrong, but it improves your resistance to stun effects and reduces the chance for your spells to be dispelled by an additional 30%. So, all great effects. Now, some people would like to take Holy. Like, back when I first started PvP, I thought Sats were awesome. Like, I was like, oh, I'm going to throw 10 points into my strength and in my intellect right here, but, it's a little bit of a bait. I wouldn't do it, especially as Ret. Like, these talents right here are so important. Maybe in PvE, you can go ahead and pick these up because you're not going to need the additional utility, these talents down here, but in PvP, improved Hammer of Justice and Stoicism are definitely mandatory. Let's take one more look at the Ret tree. This is what I have right here: 5 in Benediction, 2 in improved Judgment, improved Steel Crusader, Deflection. We can really just talk about the not the mandatory, but if the choice talents are really going to be between Vindication, Eye for an Eye, or Divine Purpose. After that, this is pretty much cookie cutter. Yeah. So if you guys have any further questions on the talents for Ret and PvP, let me know. If you do prefer Eye for an Eye, Vindication, or Divine Purpose instead of Improved Seal of the Crusader, also let me know. I'd be happy to respond to comments below. Alright, stay tuned for future seal twisting guides, damage guides, and some 2v2 arena. See you guys next video. Peace.